携帯通話データその2。
Understood. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I was in the dark zone when we pulled out. Yeah, I'm okay to talk about it. My name? Specialist Robert Armitage, Jr. Army National Guard, New York. 42nd Infantry Division. Yes, ma'am, it's a mouthful. Electronics engineer. Wife and 2 kids in Utica. Mobilized mid-December after the governor declared a state of emergency. We knew there was an outbreak. We didn't know of what. No, ma'am. My experience, they don't tell you those things unless they're relevant. And it wasn't.
Hey, come take a look.
Not yet. Well, you join up, you pretty much give them leave to do whatever they want to you. When did I get to Manhattan? Early days. Right after the outbreak. They mobilized us on the 7th, had us in transports to the city on the 8th. Quarantine was already coming down. It was weird as hell to be traffic going into Manhattan and not see anything coming out. People hadn't started dying yet, but already things were pretty shaky. Half the city was sick, and the other half didn't go to work because they were afraid of getting sick. Our initial orders were to liaise with Sarah and provide support. Build aid stations and help him set up those field hospitals. City policing we left to the civil authorities, though they could see we were getting stretched pretty thin. But we built structures. We safeguarded supply drops, we handed out blankets and water bottles, and we held the line on the quarantine. Nobody was getting off the island, not if we could help it. Had to shoot a few people who tried. I'm not proud of that. Then people started dying. For real dying. Not just old folks and kids. People were dropping dead in the streets. People dying in their apartments and nobody would find them for days. The hospitals, they were turning people away because they had nothing left. But that was okay, because Sarah had those mass treatment centers and they were going to be it. By that point, the cat was out of the bag on the smallpox thing. But we still had hope, you know? Sarah was going to beat this thing, and then we were all going to go home. Meanwhile, the city was falling to shit around us. The ATF, they were trying, doing their best during all this. Firemen, cops, crossing guards, you name it. All of them trying to keep things running when the water stops flowing and the lights start going out. And all you got is a badge and a promise that things are going to get better. People start getting crazy in the streets, stealing food, taking it from their neighbors. What are you going to do? After a while, they linked us up with them and called us all JTF. But it still wasn't enough. Early days, there was talk of hooking up with that PMC someone paid to guard their offices on Wall Street. Last Man Battalion, they were called. Complete bunch of shitheads. If they played ball, maybe things wouldn't have gotten so bad. But their CO, this Bliss asshole, he decides they're not working with nobody. So suddenly we got a war going with those guys while the disease is out of control. Not enough we got a superbug trying to kill us. Goddamn Merc's got to try it too. But that's all besides the point. Because the real problem was those treatment centers. They failed. Everybody died. The patients, the doctors, the nurses. The poor sons of bitches dumping bodies into the mass graves they had to dig in Central Park. Everyone. People dying on the inside, people shooting at us on the outside. When they finally told us to pull out, it was a blessing. Except now, all that's behind barbed wire. Yeah. That's where your dark zone came from. And the things I've seen, I don't care how much you're offering. I'm never going back in.
God damn it! I was there. I was right there. I could have saved those people. I could have saved the whole fucking situation. Here's what I don't get. How do you recruit the best of the best and not allow them to do their fucking job? Son of a bitch. Thing is, we pull out now. We can't ever go back. The whole area just becomes one big dart zone. Totally lawless. Jesus, we're letting them win. Stop it. Stop being a pussy. Get a fucking grip. Think, goddammit. Idiots. Motherfucking idiots. How dare they? How dare they? Okay. First of all, I owe myself an apology. Emotional outbursts are unacceptable, certainly unprofessional, no matter how provoked. So, I apologize. I forgive myself. I move forward. Good. Now the question of the moment, this betrayal, this changes things. Things have changed. This is clear. We have been lied to. We are sent to do a job. Things get tough. Suddenly, we're not allowed to do it. Rules are broken. Values discarded. A city abandoned. This is the truth. This is reality. The man behind the curtain. I have to tell the others. Okay, progress report. I've spoken to several other agents about the division's betrayal. This wasn't easy given our cell structure. I only knew the agents in my cell. One was supportive, two were not. Every war has casualties, as I've been reminded. But the one led to others. I'm encouraged. Obviously, not everyone will be persuadable, but a 1 in 3 success rate is more than expected. I also received an unexpected connection to Colonel Charles Bliss of the Last Man Battalion. I'm told his might be a friendly ear. I look forward to bending it. Progress report. Colonel Bliss proved receptive, a man of rare wisdom and insight, not to mention a fine taste in single malts. New challenge. With most of the initial wave of agents either dead or playing dead, the division has apparently activated a second wave. Smaller than the first, it seems. Poor planning. For want of a nail, the war was... I'm sure they're good people. Unfortunately, they can't be allowed to succeed, so we'll have to cut some assignments short. Nobody said saving the world was going to be easy. Progress report. It looks like the Last Man Battalion's the best bet, at least in the short term. I've set up a line of communication with Lieutenant Colonel Charles Bliss, and it's proving mutually beneficial. There's a certain overlap of viewpoints there, and some shared ambition. He's a man who has a vision for this godforsaken rock, one that I can work with. We've already collaborated on one operation in Brooklyn, but taking down a helicopter is just a first step. Let's see how far this can go. I've had an idea, and it's a good one. Let's think about the virus. What do we know? That it's similar to smallpox. Not smallpox, but similar, which means it's a designated variation. Smallpox is the base on which a designer made alterations. Now, live smallpox exists in only 2 places, DCD and Russia. The base virus had to come from one of them. DCD? I would have heard if their security had been breached. So, Russia. Now let's think about the designer. Are there virologists with connections to both New York and Russia? In fact, there are 2. One's Russian, one's American. A little research tells me both were in New York on Black Friday. Thank you, Shade Tech. Let me rethink things a little. Did some more digging into our 2 virologists, specifically their work. That's where things got interesting. Now, if I'm reading Chernenko's abstracts right, there was no need to steal the smallpox, not when it had already been decoded and digitalized and set up to be tucked into an email like any other attachment. And that digital genome was just sitting there, waiting for someone with the right know-how and the right equipment and the right imagination to make it live. This version of New York is just a start. The possibilities are endless. Is there a limit to what can be done? Let's find out.
Lieutenant Colonel Bliss, this is Arthur Tran from Polliner Newen Creative Associates. First, let me say what a pleasure it is to be working for a company like yours and with someone like you, so devoted to keeping our great country safe. I've sent you the storyboards for the proposal for your firm, which we're calling Island Thunder. It starts with a flyover by a wing of attack helicopters, all firing full blast. Behind them, there's a massive explosion, followed by a pan down to where we see one soldier in your company's uniform taking out a dozen enemies with a massive machine gun. Tasteful heavy metal, and a voiceover that emphasizes the sorts of awesome adventures your men have been on a day-to-day basis. Tell me what you think.
Mr. Tran, this is Charles Bliss calling. I just wanted to let you know that I got your message and I looked at your storyboard, and that your ad is the biggest piece of crap I've ever seen. And that includes the time I got trapped marching behind 16 elephants in a parade. You show no understanding of what my company is, what my people do, or what sort of high-character individuals we're looking to recruit. So, you have 1 week to do better, or I'll fire you and we'll do better. Do I make myself understood? Bliss out.
Lieutenant Colonel Bliss, sir, first let me apologize for the previous effort we sent you. That was the work of a junior associate who has, of course, since been let go. We've assigned all of our senior staff to your project, and I think you'll be very pleased with the revisions. It's a very simple concept. Just you, talking about your service and the idea of loyalty and duty. And I think we can bring it in at well under your budget, so call me back and let me know.
This is Eva Acosta, urban spelunker extraordinaire. New York has been cordoned off by the government, and I am in the most exclusive club in the world, Manhattan. Thomas and Blanca got their asses cut by the JTF. Not me. But then they don't have my mad parkour skills. I'm exploring the city and reporting what I see, taking nothing but photos and leaving nothing but footprints, and maybe the occasional audio recording, so people know where I've been and the incredible things I've seen here. The adventure begins. This is Eva Acosta, urban spelunker, and this is my first night exploring the Big Apple. Gotta say, it's spooky as hell here. New York used to be a very crowded place, but it is creepy how quiet it is now. Hardly any lights, just the wind howling through the buildings. Can you hear that pack of dogs? Don't know if they have rabies or what, but I am keeping far away from them. It's a moonless night, and it's dark as hell. The streets are full of snowdrifts, and there is nothing moving anywhere. No traffic. Nothing. Don't think Manhattan has ever been this quiet.
Come take a look.
This is Eva Acosta, urban spelunker. Day 2 inside the city that never sleeps. Last night was pretty freaky, but today's a whole different story. I mean, it's cold as hell, but I've never seen the city look so amazingly peaceful and majestic. The sky is ice blue, and everything is covered with snow. There are huge icicles hanging off the trees. It's like a picture-perfect winter wonderland. I went by the zoo, and it looks like someone let some of the animals go. I wonder if anyone's feeding the ones still there. What the hell is that? Is that the National Guard? What are they doing? There are prisoners in chains being dragged behind trucks. Oh, shit. They see me. Eva Acosta, urban spelunker. Day 3. Yesterday, some assholes shot at me. Soldiers.
There's stuff.
National Guard, maybe. I don't know who they thought I was. Anyway, I'm in Midtown today, not far from the Empire State Building, in front of Abel's department store. My papi used to bring me here when I was little to watch the Thanksgiving Day parade. There's a parade today, but I don't like the looks of it. Guys wearing gas masks and big tanks on their back are leading a group of people into a circle. Some of them are crying. I'm afraid to get any closer because I don't know what they're doing. Maybe I should take some pictures. Oh my God. They're burning them. Oh my God. This is Eva Acosta, urban spelunker, and I gotta get out of the city. It's like, I don't know, people are going crazy. I'm at Abel's, and there aren't any shoppers, just looters. The windows are all broken and people are just taking what they want. They're laughing, they're screaming, they're fighting over shit. Where are the cops? Where's anybody in charge? I always thought I was some kind of anarchist, flipping off the man, fighting the status quo. I camped out in Zuccotti Park for Occupy Wall Street. I protested the G7 summit, but this is just sad. There's a woman on the street and she's bleeding and she's crying and no one is helping her. And I can't either because if those looters see me, I don't know what they'll do to me.
Looking to buy?
This is Eva Acosta and I can't find a way out of this fucking city. I'm almost out of food and I don't know what to do. There's a whole lot of desperate people camped out in the train yards, but I think a lot of them are sick. There's no way out through the Lincoln Tunnel. There's no way across any of the bridges. There's no way out anywhere. Getting in was easy. They're not watching for people trying to get in who'd be stupid enough to want in, but getting out? Oh, shit. I hope I'm not getting sick. I think I better head for the train yards. I don't know where else to go. At least there's safety in numbers there. If someone finds this recording, I'm hoping you can get a message to my parents in Teaneck, New Jersey. Isabel and Ramon Acosta. Tell them Eva loves them. Tell them I'm sorry.
Now, this city needs a hero. And I will give them that hero. I have always known that it was my destiny to someday be Manhattan's last defender of truth and of justice. And now is my time. It is time for me to don my mask and my cape and to go forth into the streets and to punish the wicked and to defend the innocent. It took the dollar flu, the so-called green poison to trigger my latent powers. But I became indestructible. I had become the living symbol of this city, and I have sworn to protect it. Rikers, the LMB, the strange men with the flamethrowers. I fought them all in the name of justice. I made myself a costume. I took Kevlar from them and I stitched it together and I made a mask and a cape. The cape was not very good in a fight though, so I got rid of that after a while, but I always took the fight to the enemy. I stopped them from attacking the innocents, dropping down on them from rooftops, preventing them from preying on the weak. And the Riker who tried to follow me back to my apartment, I am sure that I lost him before he... Wait, what was that noise? I'll be back in a minute. It's been a long time, my friend. A long time since I told you about my adventures, my duty to the city even. You see, I was attacked by a great many of those escaped prisoners, but I fought them. And even though I was outnumbered, I escaped through the window. I haven't been back since. It's too dangerous. All my notes, all my gadgets, all my tools of justice must remain behind. But I will find a new lair. And I will plot my revenge. And when the time comes, I will re-emerge once again and show them the power of justice.
I am Vitaly Chernenko, physician and virologist. I live in Novosibirsk in Russia. I will record this journal to document the events in New York City after what they call the dollar flu outbreak. I am fortunate to be in New York now as I am to speak at Sinai Hospital Medical Conference. I hope to be of some use in this crisis. I have, how does one say it, mixed feelings. One does not wish others to suffer, But for virologists, it is also excellent opportunity to learn. The first does not cancel out the second. Oh, I should add, English is not my best language, but more people speak it here than Russian, so I will use it. My talk at the conference has been postponed, as is the conference itself. This is not a surprise. The Russian consulate has called me in. I am to stay here in the consulate building until the crisis has passed. It's very comfortable. More comfortable than my hotel, in fact, but here one feels a little bit like a prisoner. Am I not more useful to help with the study of green poison? This is what they are calling the virus. If I can work with others? It feels like the bad old days. At least I still have my phone and internet. I will try to stay up on how things develop. Perhaps I can be of help from here. This is all very frustrating. I have a colleague in New York, Dr. Amherst Gordon. He was at Vector for 1 year exchange years ago. Productive time. He was very interested in my work, taking a dangerous virus, Ebola, say, and make small changes to the genome to make the virus less deadly but also more fertile. In the end, harmless version will win out over harmful one. That is the idea. At the time, it was theory. Now, maybe it is possible using computer and modified 3D printer. I want to speak to Dr. Amherst and see what he thinks. I have called him, but he has not yet answered. I am troubled by the news. The DCD says the virus may be smallpox, but the live smallpox virus is kept in just 2 places in the world, DCD and Vector in Siberia, where I work. It is very, very hard to access if one does not have the proper security clearance. If this is true, the one behind this may have the connection to DCD or Vector. They may even be known to me. It is disturbing. Still, no answer from Dr. Amherst. I am concerned for his health. I want to go to his home to make sure he is safe, but I am not permitted to leave consulate. I am too vital to Russian interests. So they tell me. Пожалуйста. Watching and reading the news, I am now convinced that the virus is not smallpox, but rather modified virus based on smallpox. Why? Because the symptoms are similar, but what is the word? Tweaked. Faster transmission, more lethal, optimized. This is what I was trying to defend against. Modified virus is weaponized for terrorism. I remember having long talks with Dr. Amherst about it. The consul will not allow me to contact the DCD and share what I know. They say soon we are leaving the United States. That I am so close to being able to help, yet so far makes me angry and terribly sad. I still have heard nothing from Dr. Amherst. I fear the worst. I am so furious. They left me. They left me. For weeks, I did as I was told. I came to consulate. I did not contact DCD. I stayed hidden while an epidemic raged outside. And I might know better than anyone what is really going on. I hid so well, it seems, that they forgot to tell me of the evacuation. They left... This is a wonderful English phrase. In the dead of the night. I have no words. And now I'm here, in the city, under martial law, with no protection. There is only one benefit to this. Now there is no one to tell me I cannot contact DCD and offer my help, or find Dr. Amherst. Now I am free. I hope it is not too late. Боже мой. Outside is worse than I expected. Before I thought this was a crisis to get through, then rebuild. Now, I'm not so sure. I want to go to Dr. Amherst's home to see if he's alive, but I do not think it is safe to do this. The streets seem dangerous. There are almost no police. This is not the New York I remember. It is wiser to stay in consulate for now, I think. At least here, the internet sometimes works. I have alerted the Russian embassy in Washington to my presence. They say they will come for me when blockade is lifted. Until then, I wait.
Hello? Sylvia. Rick, hi. Finally, I've been waiting all day for you to call. I've got someone here who's been dying to talk to you. Ricky? Is that you? What the hell is wrong with you, boy? Calling this young lady in the middle of the night? I raised you better than that.
Yes, Rick. Hello? Who's there?
You like that, huh? Having someone call you at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Hey, this is Allie from 89.8, your home for the best music. Am I talking to Naomi?
Yes,
How old are you, Naomi?
I'm 9.
Well, Naomi, you are a very lucky little girl because if you can answer one question, you're going to be a finalist for a chance to see the Nutcracker at the Lincoln Center.
Yay!
Now listen carefully. Can you tell me who wrote this song?
It's Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky. My grandma taught me that.
You've got a very smart grandma, and you're a very smart girl because you're now entered to win those tickets. Keep listening and you'll find out if you won real soon.
Okay, bye. Hello, this is Naomi.
Hi again, Naomi. This is Allie from 89.8 again, and I have some good news for you.
What?
Princess, you are going to see the Nutcracker at the Lincoln Center.
Grandma, we won! We won!
So, who are you going to take with you?
My grandma.
Well, you tell Grandma to make sure you have a great time, okay?
Okay.
Now, put your grandma on the line so we can get her those tickets for you.
Okay, Grandma. 911, what's your emergency? Nah, just kidding. It's me, Jen. I can't answer right now, but leave a message and I'll call you back. Peace.
Hi, Jen. It's me, your husband, remember? I've been thinking a lot lately with everything that's happened, and it just occurred to me how much I miss you. I close my eyes and I can still see you walking down the aisle in that tight white dress. My God, what a body. You used to drive me crazy. Can't believe how young we were. And stupid.
911, what's your emergency? Nah, just kidding. It's me, Jen. I can't answer right now, but leave a message and I'll call you back. Peace.
Hi, it's me again. There's something I wanted you to hear. Listen. It's birds, Jen. After 9 years behind bars, I can't tell you how refreshing that is. Ah, I've got to go now. I got some last-minute Christmas shopping to do. But don't worry, you'll see a lot more of me soon. Remember how I used to say even prison couldn't keep us apart? Oh, and I ran into your boyfriend. He says hi. Peace.
What's he doing now?
He's going into a jewelry store.
Oh my God. You know what this means?
It doesn't mean anything.
No grown man goes into a jewelry store at 11 a.m. on a Wednesday.
He's not the affair type, Alex.
Then why the hell are you following him? Hey, Jay. Guess who got seats to the game tonight?
You got tickets?
Yeah, Lamar couldn't go, so I was like, who do I know who's a giant hoops fan?
I'm actually not feeling that well.
Well, you sure? Look out your window.
What the... Is that you in the limo?
So how about it? You feeling better yet?
Mom, it's Renee, and I hope you get this message. I'm okay, but I can't get out of Manhattan, and everyone's getting sick. I had to have a couple of drinks to get up the nerve to call you. There's something I wanted to tell you in person, but now I don't know if... I'm gay, Mom. I've always been gay. It's why I came to New York. And Julie isn't my roommate, Mom. Well, she is, but... yeah. I hope you're okay, Mom. And I hope you're okay about this. And that you don't hate me, and that you're okay. I love you, Mom. I love you. Renee, it's your mother. I got your message, and... I know, honey. I've known for a long time, and it's okay. Nothing you could do could stop me from loving you. But Renee, I've seen the news. I'm so worried about you right now. What I need you to do is to be strong for you and... Julie. Stay safe, and look after each other. I love you, Renee. Call me when you get this. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? I don't suppose anyone can. Not really, not anymore. Not with the city and the state it's in. And my little piece of it, that's what I want to talk about. My neighborhood. My name is Sarah Cardozo, and this is my story. This was a good neighborhood. A nice neighborhood. People looked out for each other when they had troubles. It was that way too, after the green poison first hit, at least for a while. We took care of each other because it was the decent human thing to do. We watched what was going on elsewhere, and we were proud that we weren't like that. At least, we didn't start out like that. Lately, I don't know. People are leaving. They're drifting away. The neighborhood is changing. People are focusing more on taking care of themselves. I don't blame them. There's this feeling in the air, this idea that things can't stay like this forever, and that they're going to get worse before they get better. So I think things are going to get worse real soon now. There we are. I knew something bad was coming. There was a man walking down the street in a hazmat suit with, and I cannot believe this, a flamethrower. Every time he saw a body, he turned to it, and it was horrible. He did that to every dead body, and then, when he saw a girl out looking for food, Elizabeth, the Hirsch girl, he tried to burn her too. Thankfully, she got away, but my God, what kind of sicko do you have to be to want to torch a child? Well, the man with the flamethrower isn't alone. They call him and his kind cleaners. How do I know? Because soldiers came marching down my block and announced that the neighborhood, my neighborhood, was under the protection of the Last Man Battalion, and that if we knew what was good for us, we'd behave. Someone asked a few questions, and that's how we found out about the cleaners, and about those nasty Rikers, too. The island's more dangerous than I thought. Okay, there is no explanation for this. None whatsoever. I heard one of those awful cleaners coming down the street and hid in here so he wouldn't see me and decide to set me on fire. Two of those men in the LMB uniforms went out to meet him. They had guns. Guns! And you think they'd tell him to stop, wouldn't you? I mean, the The way he's going, he could burn the entire borough down. But what do? They start joking with him. One even lights a cigarette, filthy habit, on the flamethrower, and then the three of them march off together like they're the best of friends. I don't understand it. I just don't. But I'm going to follow them and try to find out what's going on. Okay, I'm following. They're marching back towards that car wash, the one with the fancy new neon sign. I don't think they've seen me, but they've joined up with more soldiers and some of those criminals and a couple more cleaners. They're all laughing and having a good time, which is good for me because they're not looking around to see if anyone's behind them. This is a terrible risk I'm taking. I should just go home right now. I should just run before they notice me. I should...
My name is Sergeant Russell Colfax, and what you are about to hear is the whole unvarnished truth. Why? Because I'm sick of all the goddamn bullshit pussyfooting around that's been going on here, and someone needs to talk plain sense, especially since the top brass seems to have lost their goddamn minds. Listen, I've been with the company for 6 years. Did multiple tours in the sandbox for Uncle Sam before that. Been deployed on 3 continents. Served as a peacekeeper, as a trainer, and as part of a private security detail for the president of some country you probably ain't never heard of. So, I've made my bones. I've been with this outfit through all sorts of shit. But I have never seen anything like what we are doing now. And that ain't a good thing. When we first came to the island, the mission was simple. Protect certain buildings and their contents from looters, thieves, and vandals. It was a good clean-up. When those punks came over from Rikers Island, we stopped them in their tracks. I guess they thought it was going to be easy to roll right over us, but we held the line. Taught them a lesson about fighting with discipline, too. And there's the cleaners. Oh my, the cleaners. Crazy, each and every one of them. Gonna burn down the whole city to save it. Dressing up like monster men with bright shiny bombs strapped to their backs. Yeah, that's a great move, isn't it? We used to pick them off just by shooting the napalm tanks they were wearing and waiting for the explosion. And so obsessive. Try talking to one, and all you get is burn out the infection. Yeah, nice talking to you too, man. Don't get burned playing with matches. So imagine us, the LMB, last bastion of combat discipline on this island. Professional soldiers from top to bottom. Now, imagine us teaming up with the Rikers and the cleaners. Because that's exactly what we're doing. We're going to be patrolling together, doing joint ops, everything. And I have got to tell you, I don't like it one little bit. Now, the brass says there's a good reason for us to be working with the others out here. They say they've called a truce, maybe even made an alliance, because all of us have gotten screwed, one way or another, by that piece of shit, Aaron Keener. And they say Keener's been spotted on the West Side Piers. And that's why all of us are moving in, to hunt that little bastard down. But man, I just don't get it. We beat those other guys. One group's crazier than a shithouse rat, and the other's a mob with no discipline. What the hell do they have to offer us? You ask me, it's going to be more work keeping them in line than we'll get out of them. If you ask me, it's not worth it. But nobody's asking me, which is typical.
Hi, Grandma. It's Elizabeth.
Mom said I should always call you to let you know what was going on, so that's what I'm doing right now. First things first, I'm okay. I'm fine. I caught the dollar flu, but then I got better, so you don't have to worry about me anymore, okay? It wasn't any fun, but I'm super better now. Now, the bad news. Mom's sick. But if I'm immune, she's immune, right? That's how this works, isn't it? I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. I hope you're okay. Grandma? It's Elizabeth. Mom's dead. I woke up this morning and went to give her some water, and she wasn't moving. She wasn't breathing. And I tried everything. I swear I tried, and she wouldn't wake up. She got sick because she took care of me when I got sick, and now she's dead. I don't know what to do, Grandma. I'm so sorry. Hi, Grandma. You haven't called back, so I'm getting worried. Please call if you can. Tonight's my first night without Mom. The apartment's just so quiet. I'm gonna stay here and keep the door locked and just pretend nothing's wrong. Because if I think too hard about it, about everyone getting sick and Mom dying and you not answering the phone, I start to think about how bad it really is out there, and I can't face that. Not tonight. Not without Mom. Hey, Grandma. Well, the inevitable happened. I ran out of food in the apartment. It only lasted longer than I thought, but that's mainly because I didn't think I'd be able to eat some of Mom's stuff, like the quinoa. Turns out that if you're hungry enough, you'll eat anything, even if it tastes like yuck. But once I finished that, I had to go out and find food. It wasn't easy. All the stores were empty of everything. They had smashed windows and knocked over shelves. So I went looking other places. Some of the neighbors' apartments, mainly. And I took food from the ones who aren't gonna miss it. It feels creepy, but I don't have another choice. Today was scary, Grandma. I was outside looking for some food when this guy started yelling at me. I ignored him the way Mom always told me to, but he wouldn't stop. Then he started chasing me, and he had a crowbar. And I ran. I dropped everything I was carrying, and I ran, and he kept chasing me, and nobody came to help me. I went and I ducked down an alley and climbed over a fence, and he couldn't follow me. And then I ran some more so he wouldn't be able to find me if he came around the other side. Later, I went back for the stuff I'd been carrying, and it was all gone. I'm so hungry. Hey there, Grandma. I keep on thinking about that guy who chased me. How someone came along and stole all the stuff I was carrying. I don't think I'm gonna let that happen again. I started carrying a knife. One of Mom's good ones from the kitchen. The next time someone chases me, they're gonna get a surprise. Because I can't just run and leave everything. Not when food's so hard to find. Not anymore. Hey, Grandma. I'm guessing you're probably gone too. But I'm gonna keep calling as long as I can. It just feels like I should, somehow. I think you'd be proud of me. And so would Mom. I'm a survivor, and I'm gonna keep on surviving. There's talk of a refugee camp open near the garden. Maybe I'll go there. Or maybe I'll stay here and keep making the best of it. Whatever happens, though, it'll be my choice. And no one's gonna force me out. No one's gonna take what's mine. No one. Goodbye, Grandma. I love you.
I don't need to explain myself to anybody. This is not a plea for understanding, nor am I looking to justify what I have done. Choices. I made them, and I'm comfortable with what I did. No, I'm recording this because I don't know how long I'm going to last out here, and someone should hear this story. Someone should hear the other side. I started out a shade agent, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to go in and save the city. But you know something? This city doesn't want to be saved. At least not unless it's on its own terms. And what we were trying to do was too little, too late. There were too many dead, too few of us, and someone was picking off agents like it was going out of style. Whatever we were doing, it wasn't working. I got out, loaded up on gear, and then went on the run, in the dark zone. Someone came looking for me, another agent. I could tell he just wanted the gear, didn't care if he brought me back dead or alive. When he got close enough, I dropped him. And you know what I felt? Absolutely nothing. I hadn't killed one of the good guys. I hadn't killed anyone who was part of anything I was. And that gave me an idea. The dark zone is full of abandoned equipment if you know where to look. I know where to look. I took all the abandoned shade commo gear I could get my hands on and set up shop in my hidey hole. No, I'm not going to tell you where it is. Besides, if you're hearing this, you've likely found it anyway. So I took that gear and set up my own network, tapping into shade frequencies and targeting users ID'd as rogues. Why? Because I didn't like being hunted. And I thought a little intel could go a long way for someone on their own out there.
Come take a look.
I don't trust anyone. Out here, you can't trust anyone. They call us rogue for a reason. We're all just out here trying to survive. And as soon as you start building something bigger than yourself, someone's gonna want to come along and knock it down. So I do what I do, which makes me useful to everyone out here. Hopefully that gives them a reason to keep me around rather than puts a bullseye on my back. Where am I? Doesn't matter. What's next? More of the same. I'm going to keep broadcasting as long as I can, sharing intel that gives everyone out there just a little better chance of making it to tomorrow. I'm not looking for trouble, but if trouble finds me, I'll be ready.
Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Oh. Yes. My name is Ruth Massey. I've lived in New York for 32 years, and I have a question for you. Who is Rick Velassi? I mean, we all know who we think he is. He's the loudmouth who keeps talking on the radio about what he thinks is going on. But is he really that? Or is what he's saying intended as a distraction to keep us away from the real truth? I think that's what's really going on here. That Velassi is a mouthpiece for something or someone, and it's his job to spout opinions that hide the truth. And I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna take down Rick Velassi. Just you watch me.
Can I do something for you?
Did you ever wonder why Velassi's on the air and nobody else seems to be? Why does he have the technology to keep pounding out his dribble when no one else on the entire island of Manhattan, the greatest city on planet Earth, seems to be able to get a basic ham radio set going? And let's face it, he doesn't seem like the handiest guy to have around. I don't think he's the sort to build his own equipment. Do you? I think someone set him up to be the voice of Manhattan during the crisis. Tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead. I dare you. So, I went digging into Rick Velassi. There's no waiting for documents anymore. It's all help yourself, if you can find it. And if the docs you want didn't get turned into kindling to keep someone from freezing to death. But here's the interesting thing. I couldn't find a thing on Velassi. No driver's license, no draft records, no nothing. Now, maybe I was just looking in the wrong place. Or maybe the records were destroyed by accident. But maybe there is no Rick Velassi. He's a ghost. It's something to think about. I'm still trying to dig into Velassi's past, and I am getting nowhere. There's no record of where he lives, and no employment history. It's like the government just made him up out of whole cloth when they needed a voice to go out on the airwaves. For all we know, he's not even in Manhattan. He could be in a condo up in Boston eating cheese munchies in between broadcasts, and they just pipe him in down here. It's getting too big. I am losing sight of the edges of the web. I've seen him. I've seen someone I'm pretty sure is Velassi on the street in Morningside Heights. That must mean he lives somewhere close. I'm surprised he even comes out of his lair at all. He must think he's special somehow. Or that he has protection. Yes, I'll bet that's it. If that is Velassi, it could be a government plant to distract me. But you know what? It doesn't matter. We deserve the truth about Rick Velassi and whoever he's fronting for. I will follow him. I will keep an eye on him. I will find him, and then I will find out the secrets he's hiding. I promise you, we will know the truth. This is going to be my last broadcast. They're listening. I mean, I always knew they were listening, but now I know they're listening, and I don't know how much time I have left. I'm giving up on the Velassi story. It's too dangerous. It's too big, bigger than you think. What he's tied up in, Manhattan is only the tip of the iceberg. If I keep looking into it, they're going to kill me. Maybe they're already going to kill me. I don't know. Maybe this is too late. But I am telling you, whatever you do, stay away from Rick Velassi. Stay away from...
Hey, check this out.
Hello, this is Aaron Keener. Now, don't tell me you've forgotten me. I'm the bad guy, remember? Oh, I didn't cause any of this, but if you ask the JTF, I sure as hell made it worse. Of course, if you're asking the JTF for anything besides some bottled water, you got bigger problems. But the news is simple. I'm alive, I'm real, and I'm not done yet. Not by a long shot. Anyway, I hear you've been looking for me. Does Lau know why? Do you? And right about now, I'll bet you're wondering if I was ever even here on the west side. The answer is yes, I was. You can look for me all you want, and so can those morons with the golf clubs and the flamethrowers. But you will never find me. More questions? Well, I'm sure you got dozens of them. Like, why the west side? It's easy enough. I needed a few things, and central Manhattan had been picked clean. And why let the factions know I was here? To get them to chase me and the JTF to chase them and pull their eyes off the prize. And what's my end game? Well, that I am not telling. But don't waste time getting indignant. Instead, let's talk facts. You are not going to catch me. Not even close. Let's put that another way. If you had even the faintest shot at getting a hold of me, do you think I'd be taking the time to send you a message? Both of us are smarter than that. But at least I've got your attention, and that's all I want. For now. The quarantine as it's set up is good. Good at keeping idiots on the island. Oh, sure, the Coast Guard's watching the water and the JTF's guarding the bridges and the tunnels. But the thing is this. The weakest component in any system is people. All it takes is one guy who'll take a bribe, one optimist who thinks he's smarter than everyone else, one desperate mother or father who'll do anything for their kid, and the whole system breaks down. that one little slip, that one tiny crack. That's all I needed. And now, I'm gone. There's a whole wide world out there for me to take a big bite out of. Now, maybe you can figure out just how I did it. Maybe you'll decide to do the same one day, when you get tired of fighting an endless fight for people who just aren't worth it. When that time comes, maybe you and I can work together after all. Just one last thing. If you ever get off this rock, don't come looking for me. When I need to, I'll find you.